Hello diplomats, welcome to EdviPlav IAS video discussion. In this video, we will discuss about National Education Policy 2020. This policy is in news quite frequently for last few months. In this context, we will discuss about brief history about national education policies in India and what are the salient features of 2020 policy and what is the significance of it. Let's move together. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, in the words of Nelson Mandela. This shows the significance of education. Education has to be reformed according to the needs of the time. India requires a new education policy to fit in the 21st century education world. So that's why this policy came into being. What you will learn in this video: a brief history of education policies, National Education Policy 2020 features, and the importance of the policy. These are the three important things which you will learn in this video. Let us see the brief history of different education policies since independence. After 1947, in 1948 itself, University Grants Commission was formed. So to promote higher education. As you know, India was in backward situation. To promote education, various institutions were formed. In 1948, University Grants Commission, and subsequently many IITs were formed. In 1961, NCERT was created for school level of education. 1964, Kothari Commission to reform the education was formed, and based on that, 1968, first national policy on education came into being. It was then for 20 years, since 1986, National Policy on Education. In between, in 1976, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act was passed to bring education from state list to the concurrent list, so that even union also can contribute for the education development. In 1992, 1986 policy was modified to suit the liberalization policy, and it was remained there since then. And in 2020, new national education policy was approved by the cabinet. So this is the context why we are discussing about National Education Policy 2020, because it is a historical moment, and it is a historic point where the next education sector in India is about to be reformed from here onwards. Let us see how this 2020 National Education Policy evolved. This is the brief evolution. In 2014, before elections, BJP manifesto contains that if it comes into power, it would bring national education policy. Once it came into power in 2015, a committee was formed. It was under former Cabinet Secretary T.S.R. Subramanian. That committee submitted its report in 2016. In 2017, K. Kasturirangan, he was a former ISRO chief. Under him, a committee was appointed to draft the new policy. That committee submitted the draft new policy in 2019. Based on that, in 2020 July, Union Cabinet approved the policy. Now let us see what are the salient features of this policy. See, if you see the picture here, you will get a understanding of how the school education is going to be if this national education policy is implemented perfectly. So far we are following 10+2 model till 10th standard and +1 +2 model. But in this one, we will follow four stage step. Okay, 4 stage. One is foundational stage. It is for 5 years, and it includes Anganwadi learning and class 1 and class 2. Next one is the preparatory stage. It is for 3 years. It includes class 3, 4 and 5. Another one is the middle stage. It also 3 years. Here 6, 7, 8. Here comes the secondary stage. Here for 4 years, this includes 9 to 12th. So this is the broad framework National Education Policy is prescribing for school education. And age wise, this is the segregation. But subject wise, what children will learn in each and every stage. Let us see the foundational stage. Here, cognitive skills of children are more. So that's why activity based learning is focused in this zone. In this zone, basic subjects are introduced, basic mathematics are introduced, but not a conceptual based. Here the comes in-depth conceptual based learning will come from different subjects. When it comes to secondary stage, this is the stage where critical thinking is inculcated with in-depth knowledge and with practical examples and so on. So this is the broader framework for school education. Now let us see higher education. In higher education, main focus of national education policy is to improve the gross enrollment ratio from 26% to 50% by 2030. Here flexible curriculum will be given, flexible exit policy will be given, so that they can get the required skills for the job, and one common regulator will be there for both public sector and private sector, so that uniformity will be maintained in both sectors. Gender inclusion fund and special education zones are also created, so that it promotes inclusiveness in the higher education. To meet the standards of the world, government can invite foreign universities to participate in the education sector. So this is the broad structure for higher education. So mainly across the country, the quality and standard of the higher education has to be increased. That is the goal of New Education Policy 2020. Let us see the outlook from both school level and higher education level here. Here is the broader outlook of NEP 2020. If you see this, the table, you will get a complete idea about how new education policy is going to be. Take from age 3 onwards, this education policy is going to address. Earlier in 10+2, these 3 years are not included, but now these are included. Along with 1 and 2 includes foundational stage. Here activity based learning will come. Activity based learning is the main priority for child education. Here cognitive skills are more, so that to develop them, this kind of method is followed. Next, these 3 years, 3, 4, 5, this is the preparatory stage. Prepare the children for regular subjects by introducing the subjects, so basics. Now here it is the middle level, 6, 7, 8. It is the middle level where subjects are introduced and in-depth knowledge is also given. Then the later 4 years, these are the secondary stage, and here students directly involved in deep understanding of the subjects. Here main focus is on inculcating thinking, critical thinking about the subjects and life. And here when it comes to examination pattern, as of now every year there is an exam in the end of the academic year, but this one says only 3 times exams: 3rd standard, 5th standard and 8th standard, and at 10th level board exams and 12th level board exams. So number of exams are going to be reduced. And another special feature of this policy is at 6th standard onwards, it is going to introduce coding. It promotes technical coding, so that children will understand the latest technological developments and be ready for the future. And one more part is, till the age of 10, nobody should be forced to go for a particular language. So mother tongue will be encouraged, so that till the age of 10, a child can learn in mother tongue only. And from 6th standard onward, vocational education also be promoted. So this is the education at school level. Now come to the higher education level. Here it is like flexible exit policy. After 1 year also a certificate can be taken and go away for job market. After 2 years also a diploma will be given and apply for jobs. After 3 years bachelor degree will be given, apply for jobs. After 4 years also multidisciplinary degree will be given, apply for jobs. So according to the needs of the student, according to the needs of the time, a child can decide how many years he wants to pursue the degree. So this is the outlook. If you see this outlook, you will get the crux of what national education policy is trying to say. Now come to the importance of this policy. The main vision of this policy is to provide education and make the students ready for challenges in 21st century. So it envisages, it provides India-centric education to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society with equitable education by providing higher quality education to all. So this is the vision of national education policy. It summarizes the importance of it. For the implementation, government is saying it will soon increase funding from 4.5% of GDP to health education sector to 6%. But there is at implementation level there will be challenge, because this is in the concurrent list. Both union and state government should come together to implement this policy successfully. So if this policy is implemented properly, then Indian education system will definitely meet the 21st century standards. Thank you. This is salient features about national education policy and the importance of national education policy. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel EdViplav IAS. We will meet in the new video soon. Thank you.